Hello Skillr Boxers. When we talk about the most successful amateur boxers, we often mention slick out boxers who move around the ring, tagging their opponents. However, Oleksandr Khyzhniaks has broken that pattern. The Ukrainian has developed a pressure, come forward style, but adapted it to the demands of amateur boxing to make it a winning formula. Today, we will explain exactly how he has done it. First, we'll break down his strategy, and then all the tactics and skills he uses to apply that strategy so effectively. Strategy. Contrary to the patient pressure style we often see in professional boxing, due to the longer rounds, Khyzhniaks' boxing style is based on urgency, focused on connecting as much as possible within those 3 rounds. Before the fight even starts, Oleksandr is already bouncing, anxious and ready to unleash punches. He sets the pace in every round and repeats the same pattern after every break. He relies on his incredible stamina and throws combinations non-stop. His strategy is simple. Pressure the opponent constantly. Don't allow him to reset and tag him continuously. If the opponent tries to escape and outbox him, he will cut the distance as quickly as possible, get on the inside and keep working, using the skills and tactics we will discuss shortly. If the opponent responds by moving forward, Khyzhniaks simply increases his attack until the opponent gives ground. His goal is always the same: get to the inside and work from there. Khyzhniaks is an expert in inside boxing. He can outwork anyone in close quarters, and he knows it. That is why closing the distance is always his priority. Now let's break down the skills and tactics he uses to get inside, as well as those he uses once he's there. Getting to the inside. 1. Closed guard. The most basic skill required to get close to your opponent is being able to do it safely. In Khyzhniaks' case, he relies on extremely strong defensive fundamentals. He has a textbook high guard, a crouched posture so the guard covers both head and body, elbows tucked in to keep the guard solid, guard positioned neither too open for straight shots nor too closed for looping shots. He moves forward, blocking and parrying shots behind that tight guard. He subtly adjusts the guard, opening and closing it, raising and lowering it without overreacting, allowing him to block effectively while maintaining structure. 2. Shifting, crossing. While his guard is fundamentally sound, his footwork can appear chaotic. He often crosses his feet and lunges forward, temporarily breaking his base. This is extremely dangerous and goes against traditional fundamentals. But just like Ali made his low guard work, Khyzhniaks makes this work. By shifting and crossing his feet, he closes distance much faster.
The likelihood of the mouthpiece being dislodged.
He will cross forward while punching, or while keeping his guard high. Even though this breaks positional fundamentals, he remains defensively responsible and increases the pressure even further. He continues throwing from either stance, even when squared up, which increases his offensive output and unpredictability. 3. Working behind the jab. When closing the distance, like any great amateur boxer, he works behind the jab.
Young fella, he did very well.
He marches forward, throwing the jab while remaining protected behind his guard. He throws it directly from the high guard without telegraphing it, making it harder to read and anticipate. The jab forces the opponent to cover up. Once they are in a defensive posture, Khyzhniaks takes advantage and unleashes combinations to get fully inside. Because he often works from a relatively squared stance, He can access his rear hand more easily. He doesn't rely only on the jab. He will often use the cross as well to force his way inside. 4. Bobbing and weaving while punching. Another highly effective way he closes distance is by bobbing and weaving, especially while punching in between shots. Khyzhniaks punches with his opponent while moving his head off the line. He often catches opponents in their most vulnerable moments, while they are opening up. He times their shots while rolling underneath them. He then uses the momentum of the roll to sneak in hooks and close the gap even more. Before we break down his work on the inside, for all of you who got one of the V1 products, we are working on a shadow boxing breakdown and we want you to be a part of it. Send us videos of you shadow boxing with the products via Instagram or at shop@skillrboxing.com and we will feature you. And for those who haven't got the V1 products yet, remember that stock is limited. With V1, you get first adopter priority for future releases while we build the perfect standard for each product together. Take part in evolution. Take part in revolution. Work on the inside. 1. Catch and shoot. Khyzhniaks' strategy is to demoralize the opponent by always landing one more punch. One way he does this is by catching and shooting. From his solid guard, he blocks his opponent's attacks. The moment he feels contact, he fires back immediately. He catches and shoots. This is completely demoralizing because he constantly counters and never allows his opponent to establish rhythm. 2. Rough tactics. Although amateur boxing is often considered a cleaner sport, Khyzhniaks gets away with many rough tactics more commonly seen in professional boxing. On the inside, he constantly uses his head to open the opponent's guard and push him back, making it harder for them to generate power at such close range. However, this does get called out by some referees.
Back there, he's tough, Pavel Sasulin.
He also pushes opponents to destabilize them, and sometimes to create space for his own attacks.
Towel came in, and it was a lost feet. He's just being walked.
Push, then punch immediately. He frequently uses frames and blinds to create space and disrupt his opponent.
Felt that one,
He uses frames to break up opponents who attempt to clinch, allowing him to maintain pressure. He uses those frames by placing his forearm on the opponent to break their posture and create space for shots. These frames can also blind the opponent, making it harder to see punches coming.
He looks to try and...
3. Punch variety. Lastly, Khyzhniaks shows tremendous punch variety. Whenever opponents duck under shots, he adjusts the trajectory of his punches. He often throws hooks horizontally for this reason. When hooks are thrown more vertically, opponents can duck under them more easily.
It's not like this, because once your opponent go like that, you cannot hit anymore because you hook like this. But if you see, even he go down, then
But by throwing them horizontally, he can adjust the angle and catch opponents as they dip.
Thrown here, Khyzhniaks.
He can punch from almost any angle and any position, whether southpaw, orthodox or squared up. Khyzhniaks has developed the ability to keep punching regardless of his stance or positioning.
There's a long left hand. He's spearing left, right through the guard, but look at Khyzhniaks.
This shows how relentless he is, and how he seizes every opportunity to land one more shot. Now, we want to know your opinion in the comments. What do you think of Khyzhniaks' style? And how do you think pressure boxing differs between the amateurs and the pros? Let us know. And if you found the video interesting, you can find more on our channel. To your left, we've chosen a video that we think you may like.